Wednesday's footy news here on afl.com.au. Hello everyone, I'm Matt Thompson. Well, for weeks there's been speculation about the relationship between Melbourne coach Mark Neeld and his senior players. You can probably understand why. They are 0-9 heading into the 10th round of the season. But nevertheless, the players have had enough of it. Have a listen to what Jared Rivers has had to say today.
I'm just amazed, like you said, I've heard over the last few months about this speculation about the the older guys not happy with the coaching staff and Mark, and it's just absolute nonsense. And I'm pretty amazed. I personally think it's pretty poor journalism, and the story's been out there for 8 to 9 weeks now, and it's just a non-story. And we're all supportive of Mark and the playing group and the leadership group. We've moved on. We're just trying to help each other out and trying to move this club forward and take it up where it needs to be. But I think it could be time for a new story, I reckon. No doubt it's been tough for him. Like, his first year as coach, and 0-9, he's definitely feeling the pinch. But like I said, the playing group are fully behind him and the way he's going, and the rest of the coaches. We just need to, as a playing group, really, get that four-quarter effort which we've been talking about over the last few weeks. But just to show that there is some fight in us, and we need to try and improve it the second half of the year, because at the moment we're not doing our bit for the coach.
Adding spice to Saturday night's trip to take on Port Adelaide, Carlton coach Brett Ratten's expressed interest in out-of-contract power star Travis Boak.
He's a very good player, Travis. We've got to try and combat him this week. So, it's something that if he was prepared to come home, we'd be very interested to have a chat with his management and see if he would be interested to come across.
The Blues becoming increasingly concerned with forward Jared Waite's ongoing hip complaint, set to miss his third game in a row. The injury list is long. Andrew Corazzo, Lockie Henderson and of course Mark Murphy, to name a few, but Ratten says it does offer opportunity.
I think it's good for our group people to grab opportunities, and to see McLean grab his last week, Joseph come back and play the way he did. Bootsma, that was his first game, because he played one quarter of football against GWS. I thought he was very good and just grew. So we might find out about a lot of our players that we have around the football club, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, if we're waiting for Corazzo and these blokes. But they might make it hard for some other players to stay in the team as well.
Now let's take you to the Gold Coast. There has been a lot of talk about Gary Ablett and his on-field confrontation with young teammate Rory Thompson. Gary says there's nothing in it. It's something that happens all the time. It's his job to help his young teammates learn. Despite that, and despite all the talk in the press about it, he's made light of it on Twitter.
Yeah, did you enjoy that tweet? Well, first of all, it actually surprised me that it was turned into such a big issue. I would have challenged guys like that 200-300 times throughout my career, and that's just something I see as my role as a captain, to challenge the boys. And I think they kicked 3 goals in a row, so I guess I just went into the centre bounce, and I wanted to make sure that we won that tap out and tried to fire the boys up, and I think we actually did win that tap out. So I didn't think there was an issue at all. Rory couldn't even remember the incident after the game, and but the media ran with it and made it into a big thing, and I moved on pretty quickly. So
the Suns captain and coach indulging in the new Virgin Lounge at Gold Coast Airport, but their journey to take on Collingwood in Melbourne is unlikely to be relaxing.
We probably got a free hit last year playing Collingwood at Metricon Stadium, and again they jumped us in the first half. We actually hung on really well in the second half. I think we actually scored the same amount in the second half, so that was encouraging. But the MCG in front of 60,000 Collingwood supporters is just going to be a great test. And again, that's where, let's be honest, that's where the grand finals played, that's where the finals are played. So just a great opportunity in our journeys as a side, finding its way in the AFL to compete against one of the modern day great sides.
Sydney's hoping for a change of fortunes when it hosts the Western Bulldogs on Sunday, but on the small SCG arena, the Swans are wary of the Doggies and their new game plan.
Yeah, it's a really good challenge for us this week. I think they're the number one contested ball difference team over the last 4 weeks, as you said, so a really good challenge for us after the loss against St Kilda to bounce back.
Adelaide is looking to return to the winners list on Saturday when it meets Fremantle in Perth. Coach Brenton Sanderson believes he knows the reasons behind the Crows' 2 losses this season.
Yeah, I guess the 2 losses we've had, Hawthorn took 140 marks against us, and looked like Collingwood just sort of shut down our attack. They didn't allow us through the corridor. They prevented any sort of short marks. they stopped us from marking the ball. So I guess there's probably two blueprints there: one of how to attack against the Crows, and one to how to try and defend it.
And the AFL Coaches Association is campaigning for mates to look out for each other when out drinking.
Who's your wingman off the field?
Big Brownie is our wingman at the Lions. Who's your wingman?
Who's your wingman?
Who's your wingman?
As part of today's launch, Hawthorn coach Alistair Clarkson hoping his personal grief can help save lives.
28 years to the day on this coming Friday. My brother was killed in a car accident, alcohol induced, and I just know that if he'd have had a person looking after him on that particular night, then it probably wouldn't have been that he got in the vehicle and lost his life on that particular occasion.
Yeah, a very sad revelation from Alistair Clarkson today, but hopefully his story does help ram the message home. That's our report for this Wednesday. Of course, as footy news happens, it happens here on afl.com.au, so click back soon.